How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I want to talk about how to complete the 8th inning Conquest as quickly as possible. Now, there aren't any turn-based missions. Now, what that means is you don't have to complete any of these strongholds or conquer any of the strongholds within a specific amount of turns. Basically, what the strongholds are is this team icon that are pictured above. Now, the other spaces are called territories. Those are the hexagons that I'm kind of moving around right now. This mode is like a board game. Initially, you want to try and take over as many territories or hexagons as possible. Every 3 territories that you get allows you 1 reinforcement fan. So every time you capture 3 territories, you're going to be able to reinforce more and more fans. The missions for this conquest are not that difficult. They only require 1 steal fans mission, which is steal 4 million fans, which is the phase that I'm at right now. I'm going to go ahead and skip the steal fans phase for right now because you don't have to necessarily complete those right away. You can complete them anytime throughout Conquest or even after you've completed it. So basically, I'm skipping through some of these phases. I'm going to go ahead and show you what you would do to steal fans. And since you only have to steal 4 million fans, you can play 1 game on Hall of Fame, or you can separate it into 2 different games on Veteran or 4 different games on Rookie. Since you are able to unlock more program stars by winning 15 of these Conquest games, then you can kind of do it any way you wish. And that's the best part about Conquest, is you can really complete it any way you want. You can go for the territories first, or you can go right for the stronghold, play the games on a little bit of a harder difficulty, and complete it that way. So we're playing this Steal Fans game right now. The best way to complete this is to kind of get a couple runs and then go ahead and get yourself out. And it's always nice to have a couple insurance runs because you never know when the computer are going to start to hit whatever you throw, start to hit base hits in a row and score a couple runs. So you want to make sure that you don't lose any of these games. But I also wanted to provide examples of how I would get myself out. Once I've scored about 2 or 3 runs, I'm just going to go ahead and swing at really anything in the zone. It's much quicker than laying down bunts, fouling off a bunch of bunt attempts. But anyway, you just advance your runners. You go ahead and get out of the game. So that was the Steal Fans game. Now it brings us to the reinforcement phase. We're going to build up a spot to attack. And then we're not going to play these games. We're going to simulate them. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes the opponents are going to be able to simulate much better than you are, and it kind of stops you in your tracks. This is why I like to try and eliminate the stronghold. If you take out the opponent's stronghold, then they will still attack from the remaining spots or territories that they have, but they won't necessarily continue to attack for many turns afterward. If they have their stronghold, then they're going to continue to reinforce and build up and expand their territories as well at the same time you are, so you can kind of simulate in place, if that makes sense. So you're simulating, other teams are simulating as well. You want to try and take out at least a couple strongholds initially. At least that's what I do. And like I said earlier, there are many ways to do this. As you can see, the Yankees were giving me a little bit of trouble simulating, so I'm going to go ahead and move spots. I'm just going to simulate in a different space. I want to make sure that I maintain a lot of territories in order to maintain those reinforcements. If you noticed, a few of the reinforcements are going up. It went up to 5, and then after I lost a couple spaces, it went down to 4. So I want to get some more spaces back up to reinforce. Now it's at 3. It's dropping, so you want to try to avoid that. You also want to try and take over as many blank spaces as possible. As you noticed, I would try to attack some blank spaces to get those reinforcements back up. So that's kind of how this mode works. I provided a nice example for you guys, but that's why I would also kind of wait to steal fans, because if the board isn't simulating as you would like, then you can always restart. If you haven't played any of the games, then you're not wasting any time but simulation time. Go ahead and restart the board, go ahead and start simulating, but because I played that Steal Fans game and already completed that, I didn't want to restart. I wanted to just continue it on. But I did that. I reinforced until I had enough fans to take on the Yankees on All-Star difficulty. I matched up with 11 million fans to 10 million fans, or 9 million, something like that. And because of that ratio, the game would be on All-Star. Generally, you want a 3-to-1 ratio if you want to play the game on Veteran. So I could have probably kept reinforcing until I had about 27 fans to attack the space with 9, if that makes sense. So there is a little bit of math involved, but at the same time, this is kind of just tedious. It doesn't really take much skill in order to complete this. It's really just strategy and reinforcing. Basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attack and try to branch off to other strongholds so that way I can attack other ones. Now that I have the Yankees and the my initial one, I wanted to move the fans from the Yankee stronghold towards the Rays so then I could attack them. That's what I was showing you guys right there. I'm not going to have too much gameplay included in this video, but I wanted to show you guys quickly how to approach this 8th inning conquest. It's very easy to do, yet it will take some time, but as you complete some of these 3-inning games, you are going to unlock a few program stars here and there, 1 or 2 for just playing the 3-inning games, as well as earning those stars for the, earning the missions and completing those missions for the 30 program stars as a whole. So 2 really good ways to kind of grind out the program, 2 for 1. I'm going to kind of skip over. I'm going to reinforce. Sometimes they're going to try and cut your pathway off. So that means I wouldn't be able to reinforce where I have 6 fans and I'm branching off. I would have to connect my pathway back to a stronghold. So that's another good tip there, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and connect those right now because I like to have everything in order, and I like to be able to reinforce. Let's say if I wanted to go after the Cardinals stronghold next, then I want to make sure that I can reinforce closest to them and then attack those spaces so that way I don't waste as much time as possible. I want to try and get this done as well as complete it in a smart way. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I wanted to show you that I have 1 space left, but that's simply because I knew I could take more spaces over to the left as well. But anyway, like I said a couple times already, there isn't really one way to complete this. You can simulate all of the spaces without taking any strongholds and then take the strongholds at the end. It's really up to you, but I wanted to provide a quick example of how to simulate and take as many places and territories and get as many reinforcements as possible. I have made a couple other Conquest videos as well, and I wanted to also include some hidden rewards in this video. I'm not going to quite open them. I'm going to also try and complete more of this Conquest, getting this video out as quickly as I could. I have not yet completed this entire map in itself, but I wanted to show you guys at least how to start if you are brand new to the game and you don't really know how to complete this map. You are able to get a good amount of players, and just by playing a few of these games, getting some of these hidden rewards, earning the stubs, earning the program stars, and it's going to help you in the long run. But this video will also help with other Conquest maps. I have made a couple of those. I'll also link a couple of those in the comment section down below. Pin those for you guys so that way you can check those out. Very similar to the last programs, but I wanted to include this because it is a different looking map. It might take a little bit different strategy trying to approach this with different strongholds and different locations, but for the most part it's pretty much the same, and you really want to build up as many territories as possible. As you see here, I do have quite a large base and I have 3 strongholds, so I'm in a good position to keep reinforcing. I started off this video with a few reinforcements. Now I have 14 because of all the spaces that I have, but as you can see at the top left, I'm unable to reinforce towards the Cardinals like I would like to. So I'm going to try and branch off towards the upper right part of this map and then go ahead and connect all of them together. So that way I can attack all the strongholds whenever I would like and kind of make a circle intertwining all of the pathways, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the best way for me to do it. I'm also trying to get as many hidden rewards as possible so you guys can kind of see where they're at on the map as well as what they include. I mean, we have a Player of the Month choice pack that might have a diamond, a nice headliner pack, a couple of stubs here and there, locations that have stubs on them, and then I'm sure there's going to be a couple other packs that might be better in this Conquest map that I have yet to unlock. But anyway, I think that this video should help you get started at least. I will go ahead and complete this map, but it will take me a few hours to do so. So I wanted to get this video out as quickly as possible so that way I can just focus on playing. I'm also going to be doing a couple of things off to the side. That's a good way to complete this. I mean, if you have stuff to do and you're just able to grind the game out with kind of in the background, then do it that way. That's what I'm going to be doing. But as you can see, I have more and more fans. This is going to help me. I know this is kind of repetitive. It's kind of showing you the same thing, but it is going to help you simulate through this entire thing without wasting as much time as possible. So I think that this is going to be helpful for some people. It is kind of repetitive from some other videos, but anyway, I'm trying to connect this pathway from the left side to the right side. As you can see, the Nationals are also cutting me off that way as well. So the opponents are going to make it a little difficult for you at times, but that's why, like I mentioned, you want to try and take over some strongholds as you go. So that way you can avoid them cutting off your path. You can avoid all that extra simulation, but this was the best way for me to get the video out. So if that makes sense, I'm trying to provide you guys the best, fastest possible tutorial videos, as well as stuff that I'm doing. I mean, it's trial and error as well. I mean, some of this might not simulate the same way for you as it did for me. That's a given. You might have to restart, like I said earlier, and that's okay too, because at one point I could have restarted this and now I'm in a pretty good position. I just have 21 turns through, which is quite a bit. I could have probably completed this entire thing in way less turns, but since there aren't any turn-based missions, it doesn't really matter. So I wanted to kind of go through this, show you guys which missions I've completed, and just completing the entire map will go ahead and complete all of those missions as long as you do steal those fans. So thank you guys for watching this video. That's how you complete the 8th inning Conquest quickly. I know it wasn't completed right there. The other videos I have been able to complete them, but I wanted to get this video out as quickly as possible. But thank you guys, and hopefully that helped a little bit. Until next time, peace out.